Good morning and welcome to Rise and 9, our last show of the whole year.
I know, it's already almost 2026. New Year, New Year's Eve today.
Right, on a Wednesday, and just follows up last week's, well, it will be last year soon.
Yeah.
Getting Christmas.
I know.
Maybe another short week for people.
Yeah, I've already heard one person in this office today say, "See you next year." I feel like that's like the joke you say on New Year's Eve when you leave the office.
Even though it's tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of people have today and tomorrow off, and that's nice because there's a lot of fun happening, especially lots of good football to watch.
Right. I feel like that's what I remember most about New Year's Eve growing up was watching Dick Clark's special.
Yes.
Just so much happening on TV. I don't know if I always, well, I know I didn't always stay up till midnight, but it was fun, the whole evening show.
Always fun to watch that, and there's a big one in Nashville now too. They always have a lot of country music artists, so yeah, lots of good things on to watch for New Year's Eve. But of course, all day today there's some good football. The Hawkeyes just hours away from kickoff in Tampa against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and even fewer hours away from that special pregame coverage starting at 9:30. You can watch that where you're watching this.
Yeah, the ReliaQuest Bowl looks so beautiful there. Every clip we've seen from Tampa, Chelsea Brown is out there doing some awesome coverage, and she was on the beach. It just looks so beautiful.
Yeah, it's like 60s there for the game, so much warmer than our 30s or so. But it could be so much more cold here.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be a Hawkeye win today, and it's nice we don't have to wait too long to watch the game.
Right, not too long at all. But with New Year's Eve, there is a lot of celebrations, but also a big focus on safety.
Yes, Iowa Police Departments are, of course, urging people to be safe, especially if you're out drinking, which a lot of people will be tonight. If you're walking home, it is going to be cold, so they want you to dress for those temperatures. If you do need a ride home, I thought this was interesting. The state's offering a $10 Uber voucher that you can use through New Year's Day.
Yeah, and there's also that 888's Tow to Go program. If you're within 10 miles, they'll give you and your car a ride home.
Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. They take the car with you. And officers are also recommending that you travel in groups, make sure you keep an eye on each other's drinks. Of course, all those basic safety things when there's just more people out and about celebrating the new year.
Yeah, and a huge job in those big cities, New York City, New Orleans, to keep those celebrations safe, as you have hundreds of thousands, even 1 million people there.
Yeah.
Remember that horrific terror attack that happened last year in New Orleans, where 14 people died in a truck ramming incident.
Yeah, lots of security happening in New York City, especially with helicopters, drones they're deploying out there, thousands of officers on the ground, everything they can do to keep those celebrations safe. And they did say there's no credible threats there in New York.
Right. And the new ball this year that's going to be dropped, and it'll actually be dropped twice to celebrate America's 250th, which is also happening in 2026.
Yeah, isn't it going to be red, white, and blue?
Yeah, that's for the second one. Yeah, and it'll say like Happy 250th or something.
Yeah, really neat. I saw a picture of that yesterday. That'll be neat to see. It'll look different than normal, but yeah, kicking off a special year.
Right, the 9th iteration of that started in 1907.
Yeah, and we talked on the weather-wise this morning about how much lighter that ball has gotten over the years. It used to be pretty heavy.
Exactly. It still looks really heavy.
Yeah, so beautiful though, and yeah, I'm sure that people will be crammed packed there in New York, ready for it to come down.
Yeah, and maybe you're going to celebrate, or we'll hear some fireworks set off today too.
Yes, so that is a change. You might hear some fireworks today. Under a new state law, Iowans can ring in the new year by setting off fireworks, and this is even in cities where fireworks are not normally allowed.
Yep, and the new law, and remember, this was the same for the 4th of July, means that cities can't set extra rules for when those can be set off.
Yeah, and so that will be allowed from 9 o'clock this morning until 12:30 a.m. tomorrow on New Year's Day, so just after the clock strikes midnight.
Yeah. And when that new year does start, there are some changes happening to SNAP benefits. That's when, if you're allowed to use those benefits, you won't be able to buy certain things like pop or candy.
Yeah, and Iowa is one of 18 states that's enacted waivers restricting certain foods like pop or candy.
And one of 5 that are starting that tomorrow. And there have been some pushback from leaders like with Save the Children Network, who say this makes things difficult for people already struggling. There could be some confusion at the checkout tomorrow when those changes start to take effect.
Yeah, even though we've been talking about this, it's still a big change from something that you used to be able to buy. And then, I'm sure there will be people going to the checkout that maybe aren't fully aware yet that they can't buy those items.
Yeah, but state leaders, the Trump administration, say it's a goal to make people healthy, and taking off foods regarded as unhealthy from SNAP.
Yeah, and also a really cool story out of Des Moines today that was kind of a bad situation that turned into something good. So you probably have all seen the video from I-35's treacherous conditions over the weekend.
Right. I just pulled up my social media on Facebook. The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office had a picture. Even its own squad car was all squished up, crashed up in the back. It just one of many people, 14 cars involved in a crash. They had to close down that interstate for around 24 hours. And you just think, well, what does that practically mean for people who are traveling after Christmas, or, when those storms come up quickly? What do you even do then? And this is a community who had an answer to that.
Yeah, KCCI spoke with Raphael and Sarah Soriano, who were driving home to Ames from New Hampton, usually just over 2-hour drive for them, but it took them over 24 hours to get home. They ended up pulling over because of that weather, and then someone stepped in and said, hey, the Latimer Community Center is open if you need help.
Yeah, and it's this small town. They said there wasn't hardly many businesses, but that didn't matter because the community center, they have ovens there. People stepped in and were cooking, had people give a place to relax that was safe for a family, to just be able to be out of their car, be in somewhere safe and warm. And they said that family, they had their guinea pigs with them, and they even brought them in, and other kids who were there were just enjoying that and had a safe space to be together.
Yeah, they said the kids just looked at it as an adventure, and there were 60 people there. That's a small town. 60 people there during the storm that were able to seek refuge in that community center. And the family did say they were able to leave at 11:30 on Monday. They got there on Sunday, so a long time to be there, but at least they were surrounded by great community.
Right. It's just like, what would you do if the interstate was closed? It's just something you don't really think about until maybe it's happening.
Yeah, and if you're stuck on the side of the road and you can't see, and I can only imagine how scary. You got kids in the back seat. So very glad to hear that outcome for that family.
Right, and the community, just decided to do that on their own. There was no requirement that they do something like this. It was just, it's nice to see people step up to help.
Yeah, pretty awesome. I'm sure we'll see lots of, other good come in 2026, already almost the new year.
Oh my goodness, it has been a quick year for sure.
I know, a fast year. I tried to think back when Justin was asking me the other day, what's your favorite memory from 2025? And initially just said, all the time with friends and family is always great. But it's hard to just pinpoint one thing.
Right.
A lot of good things came about this year.
Exactly, yeah. I've been on some nice trips. We talked about that a bit yesterday. But yeah, looking forward to lots more in the new year.
I know. It'll be great to look forward to 2026. And next time we do Rise and 9 will actually be Friday. We will not have a Rise and 9 show tomorrow for New Year's Day. So we'll see you in the new year.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.